We intend to offend. We will offend. And if you have a delicate sensibility, click the X button in the corner, or if you're on a Mac, the red button in the left corner. Monty, welcome to the show of offending people.
Well, it never happened and I make shit up. So for the last couple of weeks, everyone that has asked for a reading, apparently you're all from Scotland, from Hurley in Scotland. You all live the same lives. It's very metaphysical, because we're all one. And I can't read the Akashic Records. I don't even have a card.
Meow. Welcome, everyone, to another adventure into comedy. I'm joined by Bartzis Dean Rex, the king of comedy from Australia. We will be joined by Hamster Wheel Internet Bruce once his hamster comes off his Costa Rican union break.
Yes, I am a king of comedy. Unfortunately, we live in a democracy, so I'm more ceremonial.
A comocracy?
Yeah, well, I do like the idea of a constitutional republic, but that's just a fanciful idea these days.
Well, imagine if comics took over politics right now.
Oh, I like Robin Williams. There's a movie called Man of the Year. Watch that, where a comedian becomes president. Also, this week Robin Williams would have been 70, so all hail Mork. Robin's got a great bit about if comedy instead of war, it was comedy instead of warfare. And Tommy stands on a whoopee cushion. They got Tommy.
Exactly. He went down by a whoopee cushion.
Yeah, and the special forces would be Impo Cruz. It would work. I like that.
I think if comedians took over all the Congress, Senate, parliaments of the world, not only would you get more done, but you'd get better ratings.
Yeah.
Then the crotchety bastards we got up there now.
Yeah. So what? Who's Keith Urban? Oh, that's right. The Olympic is on.
Yes.
I don't care. Back to you.
Yes. Back to me. Somebody peed in your popcorn. News at 11.
11. Well, actually, it's film at 11, where it's like, they're going to show it?
Exactly. Film at 11. For anybody who knows, that's from the Kentucky Fried Movie.
Which is like 78 or 79, I think.
Yeah.
And the jokes don't really work when you're watching it on DVD in your home theater. But it was shown in cinemas, and so it's designed for that. Like, I think it's Gremlins 2. They changed it for the DVD for the Hulk Hogan joke. Because it's, if it's on DVD, how can the film run out of the projector?
Zanfu, master of the film obvious, Monty, as the generations of people who remembers your mixtapes.
Oh yeah, yep. Tape trading and then Napster.
who here has left a mixtape on a hot dashboard? Oh, please work. Oh no, please work. After you've melted it all day long.
I think you've just described the president of the United States. Someone just left Joe Biden out on the dashboard in the sun for 24 hours.
Oh, yeah. That comment you made about somebody asking him about the, what was it, the election?
No, it was why do Democrats want to defund the police?
And then Biden says, Republicans think I drink baby's blood?
Something like that. You're paraphrasing. Yeah, there are some. Do you think some Republicans think I drink baby's blood? And like, that's really weird.
Exactly. And I think he was trolling him. And then this was before the show started. I think that was his way of trolling it. Or what would Donald do? WWDW.
It works. It makes sense.
Because how many right-wing religious conservatives are now going, conspiracy confirmed, Biden drinks baby's blood?
Probably about 4. Because I didn't
I don't
know.
know. I think more like 4 million.
Yeah, probably as well. But I know Trump's out there doing his thing, but I don't see it popping up on my radar anymore, and I kind of don't care because the way I see it, he played his part, whatever the part was, on the global stage, and
Yes.
he's not doing a comeback tour; he's just doing a book tour. Like, yep, I was here. Remember?
No, this is not a book tour. This is "Don't Put Me in Jail for Tax Evasion" tour.
Yeah, because I'll tell everyone's secrets. So that's the
Exactly.
funny part. Like, yeah, when people say, "Oh, Donald Trump should be in jail," it's like, yeah, good, cool, because then you can go after the Clintons, the Obama, Bernie Sanders. If he goes down, there will be an avalanche.
There will be an avalanche of many others going down. Many sacred cows will be taken to the slaughterhouse.
Yeah, while I remember it, you know how you said we should create our own conspiracy theory. I think it was last year you put forward the challenge.
Yes. To create and spawn a new conspiracy theory.
I have a theory. I may have mentioned it. I'm not sure I ever mentioned it on the comedy show, but my theory is that the upper management of Team League Dark people, they're allowing the New World Order to play out so they can sacrifice all those idiots as patsies. So humanity thinks they're free and they've won and they can still rule for another 50 to 100 years.
So sacrificing a third of the patsy infrastructure.
Yeah, it's like
a blood offering.
Yeah, the psychopaths are allowing the idiots to run amok. So, and also there's a slight variation on that theory. Like, I think the dark wants to be caught, and they're amazed that people aren't waking up. It's like, we'll do this. We'll get caught, and they'll stop us.
Or they're
they just took it. Oh, we have to do something else now.
Okay. Or they're culling the herd of idiots and are going to be replacing them with the next generation of idiots.
Yeah, well, there's that. But that's my theory.
The old guard of idiots just doesn't got it going anymore.
So I guess my theory is like, what would I do? And if I was the upper management, it's like, Kissinger's pissing me off. So we'll sacrifice all them, and humanity thinks they've won. It'll be like the end of Return of the Jedi. Statues topple and the galaxies in thing, but in reality, they're still behind seven curtains, orchestrating everything.
It will legalize mushrooms just to make everyone happy. Okay.
Well, which is better, a slave that's in a cage or a slave that thinks it's free?
A slave that thinks it's free.
Yeah. Welcome to Earth.
Yes. How is that contract? How have you read all your contracts yet? Oh no, you can't even find your file with contracts. It's been redacted.
Yeah, as like in the intro, which I would do a rewrite of the intro where I don't have a card, meaning I don't have a library card, so I can't get into the Akashic Records. So if you ever wondered what that meant, that's what I meant.
Now, Monty, you must apply for your Akashic Records library card. You now must fill out these 10 million pages in triplicate.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, everyone's microdosing. Everyone was microdosing.
The world would be super fucked up if everybody was microdosing.
But there is done in the right way. Like I know you would have heard stories where elderly people, their kids, like our age, have said, just try mushrooms once. You've got cancer. You've been told you've got a month to live. And they do a small amount of mushrooms, and it just opens it up enough of their reality and their consciousness where it's like, I feel awesome. Everything's all right, and they live for another 6 years because that fear programming.
Exactly.
It was like my grandmother didn't take mushrooms, but she was in a retirement village, and she kept saying, I'm ready to go. I'm like, well, I'm sure part of you is ready to go. Then unfortunately she fell over and broke her hip, and she changed tune and was like, yeah, I'm not ready to go.
No way. Exactly.
Yeah. But she was in her 90s, and apparently they had to let it heal naturally. because the operation could possibly take her out. But I think it was a genuine, like, I guess it was a decision that she could go when she wanted to, type thing. She did good innings, got up into the 90s, and great grandchildren and family and all that type of stuff. And like one of the last memories I have are where we're visiting, and it's like, why are you all here? Because you're awesome. So, and then my other grandmother, my mum's mum, her brain or original I'm invincible. Open this jar of jam. I can't. She was getting slight dementia, so the brain was, original equipment in 97. It's slowly falling apart, and I think, in hindsight, I think at her 97th birthday, like, it's family and friends. Obviously not old friends, because that's the fun part of living as long. I'm going to outlive everyone. It's like, yeah, but all my friends and family have gone. On a soul level, she decided, no, that's it, because I think she died 2-3 months later. And she would be 104 this year, I believe.
My grandmother, she lived until she was 96, up to the very last second, was holding on and holding on. I'm not leaving yet. Not done. But when she finally did pass, she'd be 109 now.
Yeah, thank you, Sean. It's very common. Fuck you guys, I'm staying.
Exactly. Fuck you, I'm staying.
Yeah, I'm not. So yeah, it's interesting where, like, what's going on, vaccines and pandemics, and just the conspiracy world losing their mind. The infighting. I'm so over the infighting. As I've said to you before, we put forward a scenario where anything is possible, and we're told we're wrong. It's like,
don't you know you're wrong? But don't you know you're wrong?
It's like, yeah, but my belief engine's based on negativity, and I don't want to control my narrative. I want it controlled for me.
And the idiots that run the world want to run your brain for you.
Oh yeah, I've seen Bill Gates wants to put a chip in you, bad. Elon Musk wants to put a chip in you, good.
Exactly. We want to protect you. No, we don't.
Yes, we're here to save the world. Yeah, by building rockets and leaving the planet. That sounds like you're running away.
Mm-hmm.
How many billions of dollars can you need to feed the planet for a decade? What, 18, 19?
180 billion, yeah.
180 billion, yeah. And there's a lot of billionaires out there, so it's not like, well, I mean, if Bezos goes, that's what's happened in the last 2 weeks. Jeff Bezos is turning into Dr. Evil.
He flew up in the giant space penis.
Yeah.
Yep.
And came back.
During the design stages, people are like, they're going to call this the flying fucking dildo. You know they are.
Someone referred to it as a tampon. I'm like, bold move.
Spaceship strap on. Starship strap on.
Oh, let's just
rocketing into asses around the universe.
But it's not normies or muggles, but people, because I hate those labels because they're derogatory. But the general public, some of them pointed out, like, the possibility of saving millions from starvation. Let's build a rocket. Yeah. Thanks for that.
Exactly. So the irony is, 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, Virgin Atlantic flew, and then Bezos flies. I think his baby is a month later, and so we've had 2 billionaires in space. And what does this mean? The fact that all the military people and the CIA, or the defense, or naval defense department, has admitted UFOs exist, and then billionaires fly in space a month later. Is there a pattern recognition here?
Oh, I don't know. Let's go to the whiteboard.
Guys, let's go to the conspiratorial whiteboard. What could happen next?
Ah, are you saying an alien will either meet or destroy a billionaire?
Well, how would the world feel if, Virgil Branson comes back down with a stretched butthole from too much probing? Okay.
Or he met an alien. Yeah.
Yeah. Or he met a, alien male bride order bride.
This is Senji from Palladia.
Exactly.
Right.
Right.
What I find funny too, it's triggered the flat earthers. Oh, it's all fake. Now, granted, it's a photo of Branson in space. It's like, yeah, do you think they would have actually pointed the camera out of a window at some point as well? So it's funny.
and then you have Jeff Bezos. Amazon goes to space. They're getting ready to market to Mars. Not rocket to Mars, market to Mars.
Oh, yeah.
The more I sell, the faster I get to Mars.
Well, there's a lot of Halliburton employees on Mars, so we need to open up an Amazon shop.
There's already an Amazon shop there, except it's not called is Amazon over there. It's called Marsazon.
Marsazon. Yeah, there's a lot of space in this mall.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's going to be fun once we're allowed, the prison planet's opened. And just the perception of humanity is the peak of consciousness was like, yeah, good luck with that. And we go to Titan or Eros, just near Jupiter. And instead of Starbucks, there's something from the Arcturian. They've got their own coffee shop, Arcturian side. Or
yeah, exactly. Arcturian Starbucks. You think you got a coffee shop on every corner? We got a coffee shop on every fucking planet.
And it's like, why are the toilets locked? Well, we only go to the toilet every 2 decades, so it's kind of pointless. Yeah, it's pointless having the doors open. So,
besides, all of our stuff is holographic, anyways.
Yeah. Well, that's just fun. I was driving yesterday and just thinking about the divine hologram. It's like, to be fair, ladies and gentlemen, the 3D divine hologram is really good. Did you hear that?
Exactly.
My brain thinks this is solid, even though it's made up of small little atoms where 90% of them is space. And yet, if I try and push my finger through it, I can't do it yet.
Exactly. Round hole, square finger.
Yeah, yes, Tanya, I do leave my house to get nicotine, alcohol, and I take my mother food shopping.
And that's all he does.
And then I come back and shower for 4 hours.
His hermit license won't allow him to do much more.
Yeah. I do want to start up a hermit online dating site, but that will take a while.
But it'll be all online. It'll just be all online dating.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Because, when are we having our next meetup? When Mars is in Capricorn. It's going to take a while.
So that you could do a online thing. It's where it's like online Tinder meetup, where it's just a bunch of exchanging of dick pics.
Yeah. Ladies, why don't you send your own dick pics, if you know what I mean? It's always it is that male mentality of like, look at my equipment, like It's a phenomenon. Andrew, is that a unique phenomenon to Earth, or do I guess the Greys can't do it. They can't send their own dick pics to people.
Yeah, but they take dick pics from other people, and they have their own collage of dick pics that they share amongst their collective.
So, bubblegum cards, they collect them all and
yeah, exactly. Look at this one. Look at this one.
And I think I figured out the probing element as well. They're kind of jealous because they can't do it themselves, so they
they take
there's a hybrid program, but there's still a suppressed psychology there.
Not to mention the Greys are, they're a little subject to those first generation hybrid medicines. They don't want to take those rushed out medicines. like those stupid Earthlings.
Oh, well, while I am talking to the Galactic historian, that's the fun part. I usually talk to Andrew off air, but I like to wheel out the Galactic historian on air. That seems fair.
Okay.
Well, if I talk to you, like, because we've had conversations where it's, you know, the
Yeah.
Galactic comedian and the Galactic historian, like, that's brilliant. We should have recorded that. It's an hour and a half of just information and laughs, and like, people have to wait for the Akashic record to release that.
Exactly. Release it on DVD.
Go to your local Akashic record outlet.
Outlet, exactly.
Oh, I remember having this I heard this conversation 3 million years ago. Now I can't remember what I was going to ask.
Roll out the Galactic historian. Wheel me out.
Yeah, but why? That was my question.
As the audience is cheering, Galactic historian, Galactic historian, and MC Montesaurus Rex.
Oh, hello. What is the mood, you know, from the watchers? Guess what they do of the planet, you know, like, just without all the craziness in the last time frame of 18 months from our perspective. So what is the collective of, like, watching like the latest soap operas? Like, there's a bit of or laughter, or I'm just wondering what the Galactics are saying now with all the shitty crap that's been happening.
The Watchers Nielsen rating system.
Yeah, yep.
Is they are not watching the Earth drama. They are catching up on Mexican soap operas as they're waiting for the season 3 writers and season 4 writers to get fired and for something new to come out.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, fair enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
They are disappointed fans, just like Marvel Universe fans, and when Star Wars Force Awakens, they are truly disappointed at the idiots running the shit show. And they're looking at the psychopaths. Come on, man. This is like Saw 1 through 9. How could you fuck this up?
Yeah, you know that meme of that guy with a stick going, poke, poke. Come on, do something. Basically, are we having our last season of Game of Thrones moment?
I don't know. I don't know. The loosh market is awful valuable right now. You know, I mean, there's even loose cryptocurrency going on now. Okay.
Well, there is a lot of loose happening, and we'll see now. Is that part of their cunning ploy, if that's a word? Their cunning plan, a ploy, that the narrative is that shit. It's pissing people off, and that's causing a new strain of loosh. Like, you've had loosh before, ladies and gentlemen. What about disappointment on a high? This is high grade disappointment, my friends.
This is diet loosh.
Yeah.
It's diet loosh. For those of you who have been gorged on Earthlings for too long and need to lower your loosh diet, lower your loosh calories.
Yes. Thank you, Danny. Loosh coin. I should start pissing off all the crypto people. Have you heard of loosh coin? No. What's that?
It's how much humans are being fucked in the moment.
Now, loosh is loosh spelt with 2 O's. Because LU, that looks like lush to me.
I think it's LOOSH.
Yeah.
If Bruce was here, he would know, because we had this loosh conversation for the book.
Oh,
where it actually came from and everything. Yeah.
Because I'm actually slowly, because I'm a lazy time lord, so time, whatever. Starting up a Patreon.
Loosh lips sink ships. So Montesaurus, give yourself an official, I am now self-marketing moment to say, I am Montesaurus. Define yourself.
Hello, my name's Monty. Why am I talking in this voice? It just sounds like the Mighty Boosh. I've started a Patreon page, but I haven't done anything with it. So I was trying to get to that point, but there will be merchandising. And if you're familiar with Wafer Thin Entertainment, it's a lovely turquoise blue color, because to me it's different from everyone else. So I don't see anyone else use that color. It's a bit of teal, I think, and it's got the WTE. But one of the slogan I will be using is Wafer Thin Entertainment, tainting loosh since 2015.
Now, is this just going to be cups, or are you going to have T-shirts too?
Well, yeah, whatever is mouse pads, whatever is possible, but definitely into T-shirts.
Well, I think
I have a lot of things.
That's a perfect T-shirt. Tainting loosh.
Yeah, because the idea is like, for Planet Collingwood, it was, we can talk about dark and interesting stuff and info, but it's through comedy. So it's the turd of the punch bowl for the loosh market. It's like, oh, look at all this darkness. Oh, it's got humor in it. Oh.
Exactly. This is not the loosh that we want.
Where's that pure darkness? It's like there's little bits of happiness all the way through it. Like peanuts and shit.
Yes. So loosh, marketing of the loosh is very, very important here. As you were asking about the watchers before, and they're just not watching. They got screen on screen going, or they're flipping the return channel button. Okay. They're catching up on their episodes of Battlestar Galactic, going, man, this writing is awesome.
Oh, when's the new Outlander coming out? Okay, yeah, that kind of makes sense, because I think there is a positive effect from the management of the planet, where there's a hint of loosh because of the disappointment. But the thing is, it feels like the disappointment's galactic. Like, oh,
yeah, like Game of Thrones ending the way that it did. What?
Yeah,
what?
Yeah,
dumbasses. What?
Now, I'm not blaming Trump, but Trump, the way that the story unfolded, when Trump came out on election night and said, I don't think he said that we'll stop counting, but in essence, he basically said, we're going to the courts. We'll be going to the courts. But, it's Donald, so who knows what, like, he says things. That's about it, really. But when he did come out, you can imagine all the Antifa cucks running around Washington going, what do I do now? There isn't a winner. I mean, there's all these bricks lying around that we're supposed to riot, but there was nothing to riot about.
Exactly. There was nothing to riot about.
Just the fizzle. So I don't know. Yeah. I don't blame Trump, but that's sort of the point in the story where, all that expectation, 4 years, 6 months, just 2020, everything builds up. And it's like, like a Lilo got a hole in it. Like,
exactly.
Slowly. Like, oh.
Now that market of all those people experiencing that is a new brand of loosh.
Yeah, and it's widespread. It doesn't discriminate, because people across the board. Mr. Rowe from Revolution Radio said, like, after the election, I really don't care anymore. And I'm the same. The whole political thing. It's just funny to make fun of. Well, it's half funny to make Biden. The other half sad. It's getting to the point, like, normies are actually pointing out, political pundits on Sky News here is like, what is this? This is utter gibberish. It's only been 6 months that Joe's been in office, and even 4-year-olds are going, what's wrong with him? Like,
exactly. Like, what is wrong with him? Like, didn't I spiritually contract for a normal person to be in office? What the fuck is this?
Yeah, if my corrupt politician should be at least coherent.
Exactly. He's got to at least have, like, Peaky Blinders level, corruption behind him. Yeah, gotta have some character.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'd rather take Reagan again, because, I mean, at least he can, because he's an actor, he could read the teleprompter. That's how bad it is. Biden's worse than Reagan at the end of his years.
Yeah. And as for anyone, yes, I'm a huge Peaky Blinders fan, and yes, they have started filming the next season of Peaky Blinders.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I know Punky Brewster. I don't think it's the same thing.
So if you are able to get Netflix or Pirate Bay, look for a TV series called Peaky Blinders. There's 5 seasons in it. And it is got Cillian Murphy as the main character. And it's basically a Irish type in the city of Birmingham, Irish people in the city of Birmingham, running a little mafia or street level mafia organization that gains power and gains more power. And you have some really powerful other character actors coming in and just made a classic, you know, 20s, late 20s gangster growth movie in Britain. And it's outstanding.
Okay, yeah. I'll add that to the list because I've got like Sons of Anarchy. I'm going to rewatch Friends because I want to. And what else? I
Well,
think
don't you know
Snowfall.
Friends is a requirement to watch once a year to keep your hermit card.
Well, yeah. Also, I grew up watching it live. So I was there in the 90s, and it's fascinating the energy that comes from like watching. I watched the reunion, and just like the energy, the 90s energy just came back, and it just unlocked a lot of things. Of like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, the 90s weren't that bad. I survived them, so the 90s were bad if you didn't survive. But yeah, so another one to add to the list.
Yes. What other like Monty? We regularly give TV shows and series and stuff regularly to watch. I just dropped Peaky Blinders. What other stuff would you recommend people to watch?
I enjoyed in Line of Duty, which is also from the UK, which is a TV show. The story follows a corruption unit, which is kind of cool because it's police investigating police instead of like Law and Order, where it's police investigating criminals. These criminals are police people, and they just finished season 6, and it got 13 million viewers live.
Damn.
Yeah, that's extremely rare. And do start at Bruce tried to watch it, but unfortunately, you could only get, I think, start of season 3 or season 4. And he could get into it, understandably, because you kind of need to start from the very start. But the writing in that is really good. The acting is quite good, and there's little stories and there's a case for the season, and then there's little stories in the episodes to build up the whole case in the season. However, there's a long plot in the background that connects everything, and everything falls into place. That one I enjoyed quite a lot. Yeah. Line of Duty.
I'll put that on the list. I've seen the previews for it. I just haven't put it gets out to watch it. The other one I was watching is called Longmire, and it's like a small town sheriff with only a couple deputies going up against major crime organizations in a small town. It was really a good series.
And another one on my list is I'm going to watch The Sopranos. I watched bits and pieces here when it was being shown.
You have never seen The Sopranos all the way through?
No, not the complete one. No. Only a couple of years ago, I watched all of Breaking Bad. So that's kind of fun when you find great TV shows and then you binge watch. And the quality of the show is when it's like, I have to see that. Like Battlestar Galactica, you watch it all the way through. Now I have to watch that again because you learn things all the way through.
Right.
Then you need to, because of the way it's written, you got to go back again and like, because that's the quality of writing.
When it comes to Sopranos, your first, because there's 6 seasons, I believe, and there's like 15 episodes a season. It's a long watch.
83 episodes.
Yeah, 83
someone because it's on, I think, Binge streaming platform here in Australia. I don't know if it's anywhere else, but they were saying it's like 83 episodes, 719 profanities, 92 deaths. 92 characters are killed, so that's more than one an episode.
Right. So when you go to watch it, don't binge more than 3 seasons without taking a short break. It will make so much better depth of characters as you watch the characters grow. So like binge 3 seasons and take 5-6 days off and come back to it. As you really let that, because there's such a tremendous change in the style from season to season to season, but the storyline sticks through all the way as they keep developing these characters.
Yeah. It's basically like your book. I slammed through it once, and so I need to know how this ends. But now rereading it, chapter by chapter, so I can absorb all the information that way. And so, yeah, with The Sopranos, I'll probably watch it with something else to offset it. Like I was watching a lot of. One time I watched Arrested Development and Battlestar Galactica at the same time. That was weird.
That was weird. That was weird.
Yeah, my dreams were amusing. That there's a sentient alien robot race that is trying to kill humanity with wackiness.
Yes, with pure wackiness.
Yeah.
Now, what I enjoyed about Battlestar Galactica, other than they rushed the ending because they canceled the series. It should have had, whether call it another season or add 2 more episodes to each season to finish it. Yeah, they did, because they just ended it far too fast.
Yeah, but also at the same time, it seemed like they couldn't really. It was stretched. It was quick but stretched at the same time.
Yes, quick but stretched, because they knew an ending story arc during season 1 and 2. They just didn't. They didn't. I don't know. Plan it out down to the dollar bill.
Yeah,
maybe that. Yeah.
Yeah. Because at one point the studio, I think it was at the end. Was it the second half of season 2? They wanted more episodic show.
They wanted more drama. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like after 3 or 4 episodes, they've gone, yeah, no, just go back to the storytelling, because they still work and it adds. But season 3, I remember when that came out, I watched 19 episodes in a row.
Damn.
Yeah, I had to stop because I was falling asleep, and they're like 45-minute episodes, so yeah, I was nearly awake for a day.
And you're not a fast forwarder.
No, because the first viewing, you never know what you may miss. One thing, like in the background, a character may pick up a cup, and then later on, you see in flashbacks and blah blah blah. I try to absorb all the story at once.
Okay, I have only recently become a fast forwarder. I tried watching like putting a series because Netflix gives you 1.5 times speed.
Yeah,
I tried doing that for a little bit, but only on series that I've already watched. And I'm only watching it because I'm looking for specific story arcs or storylines that I just thought were really cool, and I want to go re-experience them. And so 1.5 wasn't enough, but that fast forward 10 seconds is fucking awesome. Especially when you've got those 45-second transition scenes where nothing's happening. It's just the guy staring into the sun.
Yeah. Because it's the emotion, it's the moment. I've watched this skip. What?
Exactly. That's right.
Yeah. So I'm trying. Well, I'm glad that we'll use that as an example of me thinking. Damn, I was going to say something. That's right. Yes. For those playing at home, we are still going to do our Lost review when we can get round back to it. So because I think we'll do, because there's 6 seasons, we'll do 2 seasons at a time, and I'm sure we'll fill out 2 hours worth of show. So that's 6 hours all up. But we have to watch it again because when I got into that, I think you suggested it, and I got into that and bought all the DVDs.
That was this time. It was this time last year.
Yeah, or even I can't remember.
I went back and looked at my browsing history. I was curious. It was this time last year I started watching Lost.
Yes, and it's brilliant. And once again, the studio wanted more, and so they wanted to end early. And a lot of people didn't like how it ended. And it's like, well, I can understand, because they didn't answer the questions like, what the fuck is the island?
Right.
But I mean, the ending still works if you know what's going on, because it's like, well, yeah, they're all dead and they meet up in heaven type thing, which is outside of time. So spiritually, it's like, oh, that makes sense. As a climax to a story without any other context, it's like, because like these are flash forwards. Not really, because the last season is they've all died, but
Right.
there's
So
that gap
what the
between.
fuck moment? Yeah, it's a what the fuck moment.
Yeah, so like, well, you didn't resolve this, you didn't resolve it. Like the man in black doesn't have a name. It's like, are you being cryptic or you're lazy writing? The island became a prison for him, but the island was there beforehand with all its powers. Why is the island? To quote, what's his name from the Guardians of the Galaxy? Where is Garama? Who is Garama? Why is Garama? Why is the island?
Why exactly? Why?
So yeah, it's and hopefully before one of the creators dies, they'll tell people, because it's at this point it's like
They did that after a year after it came out. They said we have no clue what it is. We never wrote it. It was one of those when all the guys were on stage and doing like actors reunion, and they're talking about the actual acting in it. Actor studio, that's what it was. Yeah, you could hear the actual guy. Yeah, the actual guy goes, "We don't actually know. We never wrote it."
But it's very J.J. Abrams, because he's got his mystery box style of writing, but
right.
he never opens the fucking box. That's the problem with J.J. Abrams. He sets up. He can never finish. He can start and prolong, but never finish.
But that's an actual movie technique from the 50s and 60s. They don't show it. They let you assume it. It's an actual movie. It's an actual technique, and he's bad. He's great at it, but he needs to finish it. I agree.
Yeah, well, Pulp Fiction with the glowing suitcase.
Yeah,
you don't need to know what it is. You just sort of that curiosity of, oh, what is it?
Yeah.
But the story all around it. Same thing with Through the Never with the Metallica. You never know what's in the bag. Apparently, it's the soul of Cliff Burton. It's like, oh, that makes sense. But if JJ writes everything about the plot the same way, and you have no conclusion or resolve, it's a really bad story. Like, what the fuck?
Exactly. What the fuck?
Because yeah, it's a good start and it's a good middle, but you need a payoff at the end of like, oh, it was a pineapple. Hey, that doesn't make
exactly.
sense.
And I only found out what was in the fucking glowing box until well after I'd watched the movies, which I was told it's his soul. I'm like, okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah. Well, it kind of works because it's arty. I don't know if they've paid off the film. Mind you, it's Metallica. If they do it right, they probably would have paid it off by now, because they release an album and then thump, like 5 million people buy it in the first week or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
so the other series I was watching was Winona Earp. Yes, I know, and you're like, Andrew, what is it? I am a sucker for campy stuff like that. And it comes back to from watching Xena and Hercules and watching Sam Raimi roll out a whole different style of fight acting that was cool as hell, a whole different style of storytelling that, yes, was absolutely formulaic, but it fit. And I can now see it in some of these other, Winona Earp. I've avoided watching it. And I'm like, all right, let me give it a shot. And I'm like,
it's not like the name is obviously a gender swap from Wyatt Earp, so it's not the Wyatt Earp story. Well,
what it is the children of Wyatt Earp are under a curse where all those that Wyatt Earp killed during his time become ghosts or demons, and they're stuck inside this. Yeah, they're stuck inside this triangle and can't get out. And every year, or every time an Earp dies, a new person takes over and has this magic gun that kills the demons, and they're stuck in a forever battle, always trying to kill each other. And she becomes part of the Black Badge organization, which is law paranormal cops. So it's got all those campy aspects to it, and the character actors are just outstanding. I will put it, just outstanding. They even have a Doc Holliday that comes back from the dead. So they've got this, guy talking 1880s Western cowboy stuff along with modern people.
Oh yeah. That reminds me of Sleepy Hollow, the TV show, where what's he, Ichabod, or the dude travels through time and ends up in 20.
Ichabod.
Yeah, he turns up in 2010, and he's I can't remember yeah, because there's an element of time travel or something, so he's helping the police or whoever investigate. The one bit I do remember is they bought coffee and he looked at the receipt and it's like, what the hell happened here? 10% on tax. We went to war for 3%. And it was a nice little jab, like you.
Little jab, exactly.
America's soft. Pokey, pokey, pokey.
Yeah. I haven't seen that one.
It's all right. But it's the thing about when you watch a series and it opens well, and then by season 3 they've changed direction and we're not on that boat. They're like, where are you going now?
It's not even that. It's just, I guess my flavor of shows that I'm like, is it a serious show? Is it a campy show? Because even Xena and Hercules had serious plot lines.
Yes.
Okay, they had very serious plot lines, but they had the tits and the ass on both sides to have all the viewers watch it. So how many people in the audience watched Xena, Warrior Princess, and Hercules? And watched it for more than just that.
Yeah, because you came for the boobies, but you stayed for the storyline. Like my girlfriend at the time, we swapped TV shows. She watched Battlestar Galactica, and I watched all of Xena. And we understand each other now. It's like she refers to her as Auntie Xena because just in the 90s, it was a phenomenon in teenage, and so she connected with it. But the one thing right off the top of my head I remember about Xena is they even deal with the war in heaven. Which
the angels and everything, yeah.
I must remember that because the next time I bring up, you never see why Satan left heaven. It's never made. Well, Xena made that. That's how awesome Xena is. It actually delved into that story, which is you think if Satan's out there ruling the world, you think Hollywood would have made it from the 20s, the fall from heaven. It's like, he was pretty.
Exactly. Legend of the Seeker was the other one where the bad chicks were in those leather bodysuits, and they had sticks that made people vomit. It's like, ooh, awful dominatrixy there, aren't they? Isn't it?
Well, interesting enough, the stunt double for I've gone blank of Xena.
Lucy
thank you, Lucy Lawless. Zoe Bell, is it Bell? Not Zoe Ball, but she, because of Quentin Tarantino, she's actually an actress now. She actually is shown. She gets work in front of it. Like she's in the Hateful Eight and Death Proof. She plays herself in Death Proof. And I saw a bit of there's a documentary about Quentin's first 8 movies, and Zoe was saying like she, for whatever reason, she's on the hood of a car doing 80 miles an hour, and they cut together 4 minutes of this stuff, and the scene's working, and then Quentin goes, "So what's wrong with it?" And Zoe's like, "What are you talking about? This is perfect." But because she's trained to hide her face because she's a double.
Yep. She hid her face. I could see.
Yeah, like arms and hair and blah blah blah. So they had to do it again, where she had to sort of remember where the camera was because she's playing herself. She can actually be seen.
The irony of that moment.
Yeah, and she's from New Zealand as well, so she's got a pronounced New Zealand accent, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just when you put it in a sea of American accents, it sticks out like dog balls. Even I even react badly when I see an Australian accent on American TV. Like, oh, gee, what the bloody hell's that? And it's my own accent. It's like, oh, that's grating because you're hearing voices like this, and then you got someone coming in going, oh, I'll have a cup of tea, thanks. Oh, sandpaper on the audio responses.
Excuse me.
I
had one of those
comments from the
no, I had one of those moments I drank something and all of a sudden a burp came up. I'm like, whoa.
Comments from the Galactic historian.
Exactly. So let's roll out the Galactic historian here like you wanted to do 10 minutes ago.
Yeah. No,
we're gonna roll him out. All right, he's here. What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
Well, Well, you haven't done an inner Earth report, which is sort of I was just wondering what the Galactic is doing, because as Bashar, not the leader of Syria, points out, he was asked, do you watch comedy? He's like, yeah, we watch you. It's just, if anyone's fascinated with what's going on now in the last 18 months, and it's a shit like the shit show got shit.
It got shit. It got shittier.
Yeah, the shit show got diuretic. I'm like, everything's falling apart. There's like, because since, like, I mean, now in the mainstream, the idea of the virus came from a Wuhan lab. They haven't said it was released or it escaped, because that's finicky. But remember, only 4 months ago, you would be banned from social media for saying it. And it's fascinating that the mainstream's catching up with the conspiracy world. It's down to 6 months now. It was 18 months. It was years, but now it's just quicker and quicker and quicker. So I'm just wondering so we've got the audience from the Galactics, everyone watching Earth going, oh, I'm going to quickly go to the shops. This is shit house. And so what's happening in the boardroom with the management? Because there's been a new management change. What's the fallout with that? Because the reptilian's still the accountant, and he must be still shitting bricks, because there's the what's on the books and what's on the other books.
Well, he knows he did a good job hiding that stuff. He's not shitting bricks anymore. He definitely has IBS, he still worries. He still worries.
But also, but if you're putting it out into the ether, wouldn't they know?
Sure, but it's still hidden. You guys still got to have the chain of evidence and the facts, and they got to uncover where the shipments went and where is the actual physical loosh. Did the lizards use it all?
There's a couple of warehouses on the docks that are empty.
Empty, exactly. Are they like selling it out of the loosh out of the back of a truck? Okay. So the CFO, he's sitting pretty. He knows I haven't been charged yet. Okay. There's no indictment. There's no what do you call it? That not a grand jury. Okay, no grand jury investigation. There's just some public, shit going on. It's a little bit of Twitter war going on between the lizard supporters and the lizard haters. Okay. The lizard supporters are like, hey, we're like the scorpion and the frog story. We can't help who we are. Stop being racist.
It's like the Twitter war between the African Americans and the Africans.
Yes.
And if you want to see joy, Twitter is a battlefield. Like that song, Love Is It. Twitter is a battlefield. The Africans know how to nail someone to a tree. Like African Americans, we're oppressed. The Africans, no, you're not. Look at me. I'm the oppressed. You are stupid.
Exactly. They still want to pay you for crimes from 400 years ago.
What about us, you dumb fuck?
Exactly. So more on the Galactics. Let me give it the right language here. So, we'll just say the good guys with the ships out there in the enforcing the, we'll just say, new immigration laws that are going on. So like galactic ice agents are raiding, lizard stations.
So we're not a prison planet. We're not in quarantine anymore, or was that a ruse from someone?
No, we were under quarantine for a while, but we're technically under COVID quarantine, but that's just a medical quarantine. As long as you can pass the medical results, you can go in and out.
Yeah, not the traditional quarantine of like, humanity's, no one's supposed to leave Earth, and like, well, have you been here? I can understand why, but there's been changes. So
right, so you have the lizards who still have a massive stockpile of loosh hidden throughout the solar system, and they're hiring smugglers to get it out because they know they've got at least 12 to 15 more years before the energies make it difficult for the majority of them to stay present here in these realities.
Oh, why is that? Is that Prime Creator? Is the planet
Well, as I've said, once we crossed the galactic central plane and we started changing from the dark age to the golden age, like a clock going from the half hour to 31 minutes to 32, we're really only at the 33-minute mark. We still got 27 more minutes before the golden age really starts. Okay.
Yeah, and that's just the natural flow of the galaxy doing, because in a sense that would, so it can keep balance. Like, yeah, it's been shit, then we have a good bit, then we go to shit. I mean, we're talking millions of years of flipping. So well, is that kind of not the driver, but is that a factor of what's going on now?
Yes.
Like,
yes.
There's an awakening. It's like, you just think, like, there's an awakening. You're just talking about politics. There's another 99% of shit you have to deal with. But it's is that why the revelation, which is a script, and the people in charge are trying to stay in charge and doing all the shit that we're going through now?
Yeah. So in this metaphor, they're trying to smuggle their spoils of war, trying to get it off world. They're trying to get the Nazi gold technically somewhere else. And
they're looking for Switzerland.
Yeah. So that's really what it's evolved into now. So you got all the galactic cops out here doing investigations, and it's really not about military force at this time, because they can't just invade the world. There's too many self-destruction weapons and annihilation weapons still in place.
Yeah, like now I guess it's metaphorically, but like how Cobra would talk about droplet bombs and all that. Why can't we take out?
No. These are personalities that would essentially poison the consciousness of the farm, so it wouldn't awaken in such a way that it would cause a consciousness collapse instead of a consciousness awakening.
Oh, that classic 4-year-old evil kid, like, well, if I can't have it, no one can. Like,
exactly.
Yeah, like, we're talking about higher beings and they're acting like a spoiled brat. Like, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, anyway, continue.
So you got galactic cops, galactic ICE agents, immigration agents, kind of all over, and they're really doing a lockdown. Not lockdown's the wrong word. There's a lot of stopping of vehicles.
Yeah, there's checkpoints. There's checkpoints just outside of Mars. Is like, excuse me, sir, can you show us your Luge card?
Your interdimensional travel cards, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's going on, but at the same time, the new CEO of Luge Corporation, Luge Inc.
Mm-hmm.
He is having a very tough time of getting the idiots that run the world to follow a plan. So it's like,
sorry, just pause. Let's go back and say that again. Follow a plan, not the plan, just any plan.
Exactly.
Not the plan, or there's multiple plans, just any plan.
Exactly. Following any plan with any type of efficiency at all to it. You have factions growing in there that are returning back to the original programming, which is destroy the world, destroy the world, destroy the world. And then these other factions that are like, we must have orders to destroy the world. You can't destroy the world until you have orders to destroy the world. Okay?
Yeah, like in is it A Bug's Life or Ants, where a twig falls in front of an ant in a line and they freak out because the line's been broken.
Yep.
What do I do? It's like, go around, and they had to go around the stick. Oh, okay.
So yes, it's very similar to that. Now, the COO, Chief of Operations, is the one that has to implement a plan, okay, any plan, and he has been experiencing, what it must be like for the psychopaths to run a world by idiots. And he writes these reports to the new board members and the old board members going, I don't even know how this thing runs. Okay. And he's like, we're probably going to have to do some pretty significant pink slipping here. And you know how office politics are, the boss's words are always heard. So this is now going around the upper crust of idiots that they're about to pink slip a whole bunch of the infrastructure.
It just sounds like Ethereum brought up.
Yes.
Ooh, credence, my friends. Credence, keep going. Yeah. Oh, and very quickly, for reference, what 50 million years in history on the planet, the Earth's always been a farm, but the latest little epoch, it's been negative driven. Is that correct?
Well, it's always been a farm, but it was meant to be a very positive farm for many worlds.
Yep,
it was a galactic seed planet, right?
That's what I mean. Yeah, from my perspective, it's up until, don't argue the number, but 13th, the last ice age. Up until then, we were abundant, and so we gave away energy in that respect. And then they changed it to the Monsters Inc. model way, scaring people and getting that energy out instead of making them laugh.
Yes, which was about 35,000 years ago is when the big switch to that happened.
Okay, yeah, right. Yeah. The my linear human brain needs in the timeline, like, so we've been in a Nazi concentration camp for 35,000 years.
No, free range prison.
That
has that has warlords in it, and religions that come and go, and the battle between polytheism and monotheism. But you're still in a free range prison.
Okay. All right. So so that brings us up to now where
you're a natural organic prisoner.
Ooh, and we agreed to that. That's the fun part I like to bring up.
Correct.
And now once we're once we're free, we're going to have a great conversations at the bar, Andrew, but we have to get to that point. So go back to the idiots.
So the idiots are now realize the upper crust idiots are beginning to realize that their jobs aren't forever secured like they thought they would be. So the idiots are making a choice: let themselves become the patsies or revolt. And what does a revolt look like? Knowing full well they have to have orders to do this because they're all pre-programmed to do this.
Yeah, that's one thing someone pointed out. I think it's in the audio book that I'm doing now, The Light of Darkness. The dark follow the rules, and that's why they're successful. And so we need orders so they don't have instant consequences. Like, if a beings or the white hats of certain aliens could come down and save us, but they don't want to be entangled with all the karma, so they're waiting for humanity to do its thing. And so on the dark side, they actually have they follow all the rules. And so if we have orders, it's that you can't have pure chaos. You need controlled chaos.
Yeah, that controlling of chaos is ultimate. Now, when it comes to brain fart, the idiots trying to figure out what they're going to do, there are many sub-idiot levels who are also hearing this message. Okay. And then the sub-idiot levels, and every time the message gets changed a little bit more and a little bit more, when it gets down to the lowest levels of idiots, the cabal security guards, who mostly don't watch their positions anyways, they're trying to decide, do I actually watch my position? Do I follow orders? Do I not? And this gives the CEO the biggest headaches out there, because there's still a plan that has to be followed. And you have these people now that are questioning all the plans within the groups of idiots, which is the idiots evolving in their own way. Asking questions is their own evolution. Okay. They may be getting the wrong answers, and it's like a new person to conspiracy community, jumps into the baby raping lizard wizards, and that's all it's about.
Yeah.
So the COO, he's got the toughest job. Now the board members are the ones that have to read all of these reports, and they're like, they still bring the lizard CEO back in for questioning and stuff, and they're like, how the fuck did you make this thing work? And he's like, magic.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a hint of smugness. It's like, see, it's not easy, is it?
Is it? Exactly.
Accent, yeah. I apologize to any the nation of Deutschland. I grew up on English movies, and so all the villains were German. it's fascinating that all the villains from America are English, but yeah, we'll move on. I think that's the Revolutionary War. Like in Star Wars, all the Empire have British accents.
Yes, they do. But dress in German style uniforms.
Oh yes, of course. Yeah. I mean, there's a ship heading towards us. Ah, good. Our first catch of the day. It's like, you pompous git.
Tally ho.
Rather, we shall beat the natives into submission. Don't go native, Jenkins. Don't be silly.
Exactly. We shall beat them into submission, like the Queen has taught us.
Yes, yeah. The Queen's English, which was made up because she only spoke German until she was 18. So basically, the CFO has to deal with idiots. So that just sounds a bit karmic.
Exactly, and that's the ultimate situation that's going on down there. I mean, I can't describe it any better than that, because it's its own organized chaos.
Well, yeah, if there is that natural shift, it's like the climate change crowd saying we're killing the earth, and like we're probably pissing the earth off, but I'm sure if the earth felt threatened, pole shift and just wipe us clean.
No, Earth is not going to pole shift us.
No, that's what I mean. It's not threatened. It's like, oh, you people are idiots. But
Yes.
if there was like, the chance of nuclear destruction, and I'm sure, there won't be a mass nuclear war, will there? Because there's too much invested in the planet. Even the planet doesn't want to have its to be radiated.
Yeah, it doesn't want to have is beaver shaved.
Exactly. It's like, motherfuckers.
So, Monty, do we want to take some calls?
Yes. We'll
I
see.
believe, because I am the instigator of people to raise their hand, I'm going to leave it to you this time to
You keep doing
lure
that.
them
No
into raising their hand.
No one, well, Sean does, but apart from that, we want more. We want a selection. We've got two, so it's not really a wheel; it's a coin flip. So we'll have 5 people raise their hands, and we're up to 3. So just 2 more. Just come
Look
on.
how good- look how
Yeah,
good
go
you-
to 3,
look-
3. They're gonna 4, 4,
Look,
4,
look,
4,
4, exactly.
5. One more. Just one more.
One more.
Yeah,
Come on,
5.
just one
5.
more.
We got 5. We got 5. We got 5. So yeah, we need 2 more people that want to talk to us. We'll be gentle, and you can ask any questions. You may not like the answers. We're up to 4, ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between. So
See, look how much better at this you are than I am.
We'll see that on a soul level, I'm cranky. It's like, you motherfuckers been fucking. Yeah, the loss of conversation on the planet is causing divisions. Like, oh, now we're down to 3. We lost one. Oh, see, I went too far.
You went too far. Exactly.
It's a fine line of insulting and love. Yeah, I insult you through love. So, well, so no more takers, honestly.
Nah, they're all chicken shit.
I know. It's like, oh, you mean I'll have to talk to a human? Like,
Exactly. If you want to keep your hermit's card, you must raise your hand.
Yes, see, a hermit needs to be balanced, and so you need to talk to someone at least once a decade. So
We got 4.
We all got 4. So 1 more. Who will be the mighty hero of the piece? And add 5. Thank you, Claire. You're busy shaving. Well, there you go. Anyone in a bath? We haven't had a bath for a season. All right. Well, we'll go with 4 then. So, Robert, spin up the wheel of callers and see who is a hero for
Coming
today.
to you live from Mumbai, Shireen.
Oh, Shireen. And we got 5. There we go. Hello, Shireen.
Shit.
Still muted.
She is muted. She's still muted.
Beautiful cat, though. There we go.
There we go.
Hello. Hi, guys.
Hello, Shireen from Mumbai, India. How you doing today?
I'm well. How are you guys?
Good. What do you think of the show so far?
It's interesting. It's a very spicy way to go about current events.
Yeah,
Well-
that's part of our current plan, really.
That's why it's the comedy show. We intend to tip over every sacred cow.
Which is kind of funny for someone from India. It's like, I know what you're doing.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen anyone tip a cow. I don't think that's possible.
It is. It's a sport here in the Western United States.
Yeah, usually they're asleep. That's when you can push them over. Cows sleep standing up.
Yes.
That's mean. Okay.
Yes. And they usually don't, when they hit the ground, they don't wake up right away. Usually takes them about 2-3 minutes to wake up and like, what the fuck?
I was standing, you bastards. But you have to run as well.
And if you do it just right, you could have one cow tip over to the other, and get cow dominoes.
Yeah. And well, I'm wondering what the karmic effect of that is like for you drop body and you go up to the astral, and then there's this cow going, you know, all those cows you pushed over. Well, guess what we're going to do for eternity? Bonk, bonk. Ah.
So, what question did you have?
With all the changes that are happening energetically, what does it mean for the old grids that were there, and how do we go about working with new grids?
Well, this is a comedy show. This is not meant to be a serious teaching show. That's why it's titled a comedy show. So let's save those types of questions for the other shows.
Okay.
Do you have anything funny to tell us?
Can I come back on later? I can't think of anything right now.
Sure, not a problem.
Thank you.
All right. Is Bruce there yet?
Yeah.
Brucifer.
Yeah.
There we go.
Finally, the hamster gets back on the wheel.
I'm a co-host now.
How long have you been back?
I've been here listening about 10 minutes.
10 minutes? And you didn't say I'm in? Bad, Bruce.
I had to be unmuted.
We should have yelled out in chat. Unmute me.
You know there's a chat, right?
I don't like to draw attention to myself.
Right.
That always works.
Yeah.
So what happened to your hamster internet?
Well, sometimes it just sort of like falls back to about 8 kilobytes per second. It's like unmanageable. You can't even check your email. You just know it's there. It doesn't actually come right out and say, hey, chump, you don't have any internet. But it's like a dripping faucet. That's how I would describe it.
Oh, you and your Costa Rican internet.
Yeah. I think it's the time of the day.
I think it's Costa Rica. All your internet workers go on siesta.
Yeah. Man, we've had like 2 days of steady hard rain and thunder now. We don't get like typhoons or hurricanes or anything like that, but we can get long sustained rain. For those of you, Turrialba and flood, Turrillaba, Turrialba and flood, and you'll see about your intrepid co-host Bruce. I'm in a perfect spot.
Yeah. You're starting to break up a little bit again. You might want to shut your video off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we only heard half the sentence. Still made sense though.
It still made sense. Well,
Yeah.
Bruce, we are in the middle of taking calls. So, Robert, spin up the wheel of callers and see who is next.
Next person will be Lori Sugai.
Lori, are you there?
I am here.
Where are you calling from?
Listen, I'm sitting in beautiful Drano, Nevada.
Drano, Nevada. Welcome to the show. You have come on with
hey, you guys, they're trying to burn out all the Trumpers. I'm not kidding. Over in it's called the Tamarack Fire. It started in Markleeville, California, and went down the canyon across 395 and was going into Gardnerville. Minden, Gardnerville area was a big Trump stronghold, so it's kind of weird.
Jesus' revenge.
Yeah, but they believe in Jesus.
Yes, that's why it's Jesus' revenge.
How
Yeah.
ironic.
Exactly.
The reason I rose my hand is because I felt sorry for you guys. Sorry.
Oh,
Hey,
whoa,
hey.
Thank you.
I was
Don't
wanting
put
to
that
be
on
number
me.
5.
I just got here.
And you didn't raise your hand, Bruce.
Yeah. It would have been a lot funnier if I were here. I'll tell you right now.
Show us, Bruce. Show us.
Well, I can't turn my camera on, Monty. Otherwise, I would. Damn you.
All right, tell us, Bruce. Tell us. Show, tell. Yeah.
So, okay, I'll start with this. Why did the chicken cross the road?
I don't know.
Because
Get
Bruce
to the
wanted
other side.
No, because Bruce wanted to tell a dumb joke.
Yeah.
How many Bruces does it take to screw in a light bulb?
But I'll tell you what, there's a lot of people laughing at you guys not laughing. Well,
Yes.
actually, I don't use light bulbs. I'm still under the Vatican candle patent.
Yes, I'm quite aware of that. That's why there's 0 Bruces to change a light bulb.
Yes, it's 2021 here in Melbourne, Victoria, but it's 1633 in Costa Rica.
I don't want to sound like a Luddite, but don't stop the whale hunt.
Yes,
I need that oil.
keep on clubbing the seals.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, God is an Englishman. The arrogance of the British elite. God's an Englishman. The fuck he is.
So if God's an Englishman, why was he always in the Middle East?
Yeah.
Why is God very Middle Eastern centric if he's British? Well, he moved. He's a British citizen now.
Well, we colonized that part of the air. I did like in American Gods, the idea of it's the gods exist because of belief, and they go to a party held by Ishtar or Easter, and there's like 32 Christs all wandering around because everyone's got their own belief engine about Christ. It's quite funny.
I got to get around to watching that.
Well, at the moment it's been cancelled, and season 4 was a bit of a bleh, but the first 2, maybe 3 seasons are quite good. You could just read the book, and you'll actually get an end point. It's Neil Gaiman, so it's quite good.
Yeah, and another thing on my list, I just haven't gotten around to it, is Sense8. Never got around to that Wachowski's venture into Netflix.
Outstanding series.
And interesting enough about Sense8, they
Monty?
were allowed to finish the story.
All right, so Monty, what I need you to weigh in on this. Should I use the bandwidth to download Sense8?
Yeah.
Versus what else?
Yeah.
Longmire.
Oh, Sense8.
Okay.
Yeah, there's only 2 seasons and a special, and because it was the first one time that the fans forced, was it Netflix? I think it was on. Yeah. And because it was the Wachowski siblings, they were allowed to do, I think it was a 2-hour special to actually finish the story, which is very rare because usually just they cancel stuff. I'm sure that's just a louche making scheme to piss everyone off. It's like, oh, this is a brilliant story. It's been cancelled. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Well, I'm going to give it a watch then. Gosh darn it.
You're seriously going to like it. It's outstanding.
And I do, like nobody's keeping score. But Monty said, show us. And there were 2 knockout jokes there. Monty was on the floor. I could hear him hitting the floor. So don't tell me I'm not funny. God damn it.
You're really not that fun. You're really not that funny.
You're angry, not funny.
I got to pull out the Andrew Galactic historian roasting moment. You're really not that funny.
That was funny.
Funny ha-ha or funny strange?
Ha-ha.
Exactly.
For everybody.
Ha, that was strange.
No, for everybody. Like a roast.
Like a pot roast?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So you're a prick. Right.
I don't get the connection.
Did you ever see the roasting of Chevy Chase?
No, I didn't see that.
Can you just say his name one more time, please? Did you
Can
really just say
evolve?
that?
Can you
Cool whip.
evolve?
Andrew, can you-
I've been meditating for 30 years, and I make
Cool
fun of someone
whip.
because he says something
Cool.
different.
Just say Chevy Chase again, please.
Chevy Chase.
Oh my God! Are you going out of your way to make it sound like that? Because I don't
No,
think that's the way
no, he's not.
it sounds in Australia.
It's Chevy, not Chevy.
Yeah,
Chevy,
whatever.
Chevy is a
Yeah.
car.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Mr. Chase in the roasting looked like a deer in headlights, so there's a car reference there. But did
Probably
you
because
see?
he didn't know it was coming. It was truly a surprise that they were even going to be doing it to him.
Well, yeah, because I think he dropped out of comedy after that.
Really?
Yeah, yeah,
No,
it's
that-
brutal.
No,
It's
that might
very
have been
brutal.
that might have been his retirement thing.
But yeah, just watch it.
Yeah.
He wasn't rolling with the punches. Basically, he was in shock. It was like, you people are complete bastards.
That's usually how those roasts go down. Those celebrity roasts are awful.
Who
Yeah,
who roasted him?
everyone.
Well, it's recent. It's not like the Dean Martin ones. They're good because it's all. I mean, they're cutting, but it's fun and it's playful. The latest ones are just kids picking on kids, basically.
Gizma.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well,
The
I'm not
hate
going
is
to watch
silent.
it. I'm not going to watch it, Monty.
Well, yeah. Believe me, it's bad.
Bad Bruce. Bad Bruce.
Bad.
I'm going to watch Sense8.
You're gonna like. It's really good.
I haven't seen Community or Parks and Recreation. I haven't seen those yet.
So I'm really, really enjoying this 2-year rewatch of The Sopranos. I'm on season 3, episode 4, and I'm not like overdoing it. Like I'll take a whole week on a season, maybe a couple episodes, right? Or skip a day or whatever, or 2 weeks for a season. But just I always kind of go, oh yeah, I'm gonna go watch another one. Just builds, man. Like it's unbelievably well done. You could just like watch this thing till the day you die every 2 years.
Right, because it's all fucking character development with a through plot line that takes you from season to season. Yeah.
What I'm seeing this time, Andrew, is it's like this whole disclosure level about Western society that has become. It's like we're all the Sopranos now.
Mm-hmm.
Is that you'll Monty? You're not wasting your time. Do a rewatch. There's this whole like disclosure thing. They anticipate everything we're up to our necks in now. The Tannenbaum, the Jewish Meadows' Jewish black boyfriend, like everything, PC culture, everything. And they did it 20 years before it was upon us. But that's just one simple example. It's really, really about America, not just a mob family.
If you had been here earlier, you would have known that Monty has not actually watched The Sopranos all the way through.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Is that like an Australian thing?
It's called free will, you dick.
This is like 21st century Shakespeare, Monty. This is really well done.
Yeah. How dare I live my life different from you?
Star Wars. May the force be with you, Monty.
Yeah, may the fast be with you. Have you watched the Disney anyway? But no, I watched some episodes. I only watched Breaking Bad after it finished, and I watched 5 or 6 seasons in a row. And so it's like when you discover Led Zeppelin, it's like, wow, there's 12 albums instead of like they release an album and then you have to wait 2 years. You can get everything at once. So I kind of know the ending, but I am watching it. It's on my list as well. I've got Sons of Anarchy to watch, and is it Being There? What's the one with Ted Danson? And he's a devil.
I don't know.
A Good Place.
Yeah, a good place. Yeah. Is that supposed to be good?
I've been told it is. So
okay.
Apparently it's got some spiritual disclosure in it. So I like Ted Danson. I didn't. Becca was okay, But when he got too cranky, it was a bit much. But when he had his crankiness in check, it was funny.
Mm-hmm. I like his recurring role on Larry David, Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Can't get into that. It's just annoying.
Same here. I can't get into that either.
Love the theme song.
Yeah. I think Curb Your Enthusiasm is an acquired taste, but once you get it, you get it. It's just some of the gag builds up are just absolutely brilliant. Like the last season he did the celebrity spite businesses, and they just kind of spin it off. And yeah, forget it. I'm talking to a wall here. Sean Penn opens up a ferret pet store next to a pet store that pissed him off.
Well, that sounds funny. That
like it has its moments. It has its moments, and yeah.
Well, like with Seinfeld, I watched it when it was on air, and then eventually they're annoying. I know it takes a while, but now I could watch it but if I watch a rerun, it's annoying. And the way it ended, it's just like four annoying people talking. And it's like some people, was it a letdown? It's like, no, that's the show. They're just annoying people.
Yeah.
So you're talking about restaurants and weird stuff. I don't know, I might have told you guys this story before. I had gone to Chicago for a trade show, and I was supposed to go meet up a person I was supposed to meet at the trade show afterwards, and he wanted to go to this Korean barbecue joint. And so it's going to be in the Korean part of the Asian part of the town. So I'm in a taxi, and I tell him the address to go, and I pull up, and then there's this Chinese restaurant right next to a pet food store, a live pet store. And it says buy one kitten, get one free. And it says in the Chinese menu outdoors says buy one, get one free. And I could not stop laughing. I'm trying to have a business meeting with this guy, and I'm still laughing. Did you get the buy one? Is that kittens? And I even told the waitress, and then it took her like 2-3 minutes to get it. She actually went outside and looked and actually saw the two signs and came in and was grinning. And I could hear her talking in her Asian language to all the guys in the back, and them starting to laugh. And God, that took me like a week to stop laughing from.
I haven't laughed for like that for a while. It happened yesterday or the day before. It was a memory popped up on Facebook, and basically it was a small video, and it said the creator of this video game should be put in jail. And it's like Mario Brothers, but it's the hardest level possible. Yep. And every inch you make in the game, it just gets harder and harder, where you jump over something, and just as you land, two spikes come up and you die, and it just goes on, and you finally make it across the chasm, and then the wall falls on you, and it's like writing a sitcom. You make a decision, and then make something happens, and then make wrong decisions for the rest of the 20 minutes.
Right, you can just see them just spin out of control.
Basically, because there's over the chasm, there's like a set of bricks that you can land on, and there's another set of bricks. But if you land on one, it flips around to the other one, and then if you land it on again, it flips around, and so you have to time it perfectly. And when you do it the first time, you finally time it perfectly. You jump, and the one comes around, and you jump and tap on it, and then land on the cliff. But when you land on the cliff, these two spikes come up, and it's like deny. I haven't laughed properly for a while. That's the kind of the interesting part about comedies, because you've seen behind the curtain, not much makes you laugh anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did we lose Lori?
Yeah, she got muted or muted herself or something.
All right, let's move on to the next call.
Okie doke. Let's see. Raz, signal to unmute.
Raz, are you there?
Meow, 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 meow. Can you guys hear me?
Meow, 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 meow. How you doing?
Hear me, you guys. Yes. Good. I'm doing good.
Meow,
How
meow.
are you guys doing?
Great. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Mauritius.
From Russia?
Yes, I'm calling from Russia.
Welcome
Or-
to the show from Russia.
Yeah.
Wow.
From
Hey.
Russia with love. Were you enjoying
Yeah.
our show so far?
Can you scale
Yeah,
it
of
down?
course. Yes. I love this show.
Whereabouts in
That's why-
Russia? Since Russia is a third of
Yeah.
Asia, and Asia's
I'm
huge.
a little curious about that myself. And what do you think of my tracksuit?
I can't see it. Where is it?
I'll put a camera on later.
What part of Russia are you from?
I don't know, man. Just a country that ends with ski or something.
Ski country.
So I'm on TV show duty, and I'll be reporting. I'm on Billions season 3.
You're on Billions season 3. How did you
Yeah.
get that?
What do you mean? Like, did I like it, or is it shit, or?
Yeah, did you like it? Did you like? I enjoyed
yeah.
Billions.
Yeah, I love Billions. It's quite by season 3 it starts to get a little bit erratic. Like they deviated from the main plot a little bit, but it was better than fucking Loki. For fuck's sake, that one was a mess.
Yeah, it wasn't a hot mess. It was just a plain mess.
And it hasn't finished. Yeah, I'm not hope, but it's like we have to wait for the story to resolve, and then for me, I'm going to have a judgment. But the first 2 episodes are like, hey, this is all right. Third one, like, fourth one, like, and the fifth one, like, and then it stops on a cliffhanger, I'm like, But I can see why people found it boring, and it's just interesting to see the YouTubers say, "Oh, the MC's over," and they do that whole bombastic clickbait shit.
Get it off your chest, Monty.
I just did. Where were you?
Yeah, I was right here feeding the cat. Didn't you hear?
Yes. We heard the meow 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 meow. Like these cats are acting like they're Ethiopians starving. Yeah. Do you ever feed your cats?
Well, what I did was I went over and I just took out a handful of food from the bag, but I didn't put it in the bowl, and I just held it and got them to meow because the caller from Russia meowed. And I thought I can do that really well. Watch this.
So listen, come join the comedy show with Bartzis and Dean as Bruce McDonald torments small kittens. That's right, you pussies. You want this hand?
Well, they're eating now, aren't they? They should be hunting at this time of night, Monty.
Well, you're setting them up so they can have more cute moments with your pit bull.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everybody gets along really well. There's a very nice energy.
The last time I was on an island, now I'm on at the top of the planet. Wow.
He's from Mauritius, not Russia.
Well, who knows? Russia may invade. If we believe the US media, Russia.
It will be fun if they invade.
Yeah, well, there's an upside. Yeah,
Russia invades Mauritius. There we go. That's headline news.
So
that's like.
I'll tell you one thing. That fascinates me about Russia is, hands down, I don't think there's a better culture in the whole world for pickling stuff. Like, what is it with pickling in Russia? Like, they pickle meats. Like
Poland is the better pickler. In Germany, Germany. I'd say I think that parts of the Eastern Europe, they're picklers.
Okay, so that's definitely coming out of a winter culture, then, right? Winter.
Yeah.
But it's amazing. I went to a few Russian weddings in Toronto through software developers I knew, and I got exposed to the cuisine, like really a well-catered Russian wedding, and I was amazed at like how much stuff they eat cold. Like, it's not like a hot meal culture.
Nope. Except for their borscht.
Yeah, Monty, I was hoping you'd come in with the joke there. I got nothing.
Well, which is weird because they're surrounded by snow. Are they lazy, or they haven't discovered fire yet?
Well, they can blow things up. So
I was going to say, maybe see, your fire is a homosexual thing, because we heard Flaming Queen, and we now ban fire in Russia.
Supreme Leader, I've split the atom. I thought I told you to develop a pilot light first.
Have you thought about rubbing 2 sticks together? You
pilot light. Pilot light. People are dying in the gulags. Pilot light.
But I split atom. We can take over Imperial pilot light. Go back to board and work on it.
Yeah. I would like to see a more thorough study of that society, like more written about it and what went on during the Soviet Union and how they got productivity and invention out of their best teams. Like what was used to motivate people, stuff like that. Because they do a lot of
vodka,
and the threat of death.
The threat of death, exactly.
Well, how many people live? How many people live in Russia? Like 145 million people, and it's a third of Asia, which makes me, we're overpopulated. With what? Space?
That's a tough country, though. I mean, like for farming, for anything, a lot of it's cold, right? It's like Canada. Vast swatches of it you just can't use. Yeah.
No, they can't use in their existing way until they find out a way to adapt to the environment.
Yeah, there are places so cold in Canada that when you go to do your grocery shopping, you have to have 2 sets of car keys so you can lock the door and leave the engine on. Because the car won't start if you're in there longer than 15 minutes.
Exactly.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
Have you ever experienced, I know you have, Bruce. Has anyone else ever experienced that level of cold, like below that minus 30 plus?
No, we have Melbourne cold, but it's not Canadian cold. Like, we don't get snow, where our cold's bitter and more like a bitter old man. Like, yeah. But
you haven't experienced cold yet.
No, but we can boil in, we can go from 42 degrees down to 3 in about a week and a half. So
we do that here all the time.
We fluctuate.
Yeah. You just don't get this next part where it goes from 43 to -3 and it starts snowing.
No, in Celsius, no. No idea what that is in Fahrenheit. So.
That's like from like 100 degrees to like below freezing, like 32 to 31 degrees, 30 degrees, and snow coming down.
Yeah.
In one day switch.
Well, okay. Well, yeah, I like because the perception is Australia, it's too hot. And yet I talk to you people and it's like, oh, it's hot and cold. What, only complete pussies come to this country and visit? Yes,
exactly. It's a pussy country.
No, the people visiting. They're like, we're fine here. Oh, it's a bit warm. It's 38 degrees. Yeah.
A bit warm, exactly.
Yeah, but then people, how can you live in this heat? I'm like, what? We have for 200 years. What's your problem? Take off your woolen jacket.
What kind of heat streak can you get there in Melbourne, Monty?
Maybe
40?
5.
Can you hit 40 Celsius?
Yeah,
Easy.
we get up to 45 Celsius.
Holy moly.
Yeah, for 3 days in a row.
What
That's
exactly
bad.
is Spumoni?
Isn't that a character from? No,
I believe that it's a canned meat. Getting back to Russian diet,
and it's religious too.
Spumoni.
It's a holy
Yeah.
Spumoni.
A holy
Yeah.
Spumoni, yeah.
Early form of cannibalism if the marketing's peeled away. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you don't even want to laugh at me, and you can't help yourself, Monty. That's how funny it is.
I laugh at you I laugh at you all the time. I don't want to laugh with you.
Well, a laugh's a laugh. The sooner you learn that, the better.
Yeah, I laugh. We're laughing at you, Bruce, not with you. At you.
Well, a laugh's a laugh, Monty. This is a very important lesson for you.
So let's poll the audience. Is a laugh truly a laugh?
A what?
Is a laugh truly a laugh? If you're laughing at somebody or laughing with somebody.
This is you're welcome to Zen training. Is a laugh a laugh?
Laughing at somebody or with somebody?
Yes.
Well, technically, it's a laugh.
Same, as long as it's like a belly sort of laugh that sends your sides into orbit.
That's like when you watch somebody stub their toe. Why does everyone laugh?
Coping mechanism.
It depends. I distinctly remember, like in the 90s, if you fall, people would laugh, but now they don't because it's all busy and shit.
Oh,
so if you
I don't know about that.
If you stub your toe, some people will laugh, but some people won't.
Are you telling me
Yes.
that if I sat you down right now and we smoked a spliff and I put on the Pink Panther, with you know
No,
who. Inspector
that's-
Clouseau, you wouldn't laugh? You'd laugh. They're just
I
not
would
do-
laugh, I would
they're
laugh.
they're just not doing it right anymore.
Yeah, but that's Peter Sellers falling down a flight of stairs. He makes it funny. But if you watch someone fall down a flight of stairs in front of you, you care about the person that asked them all right.
yeah,
And then you find
yeah.
out if they're all right. Then you laugh and it's like, well, that was a bit stupid. But if they die, it's not really that funny.
Hey, speaking of laughter, can I ask something?
Yes. Is that the question? No.
Yeah,
That's the best
no,
line
no.
of the show. That's the best line of the show, actually.
Andrew talked about it, but I got a little bit of African in me, so I have a problem with that. There's a difference between humor and humiliation, like when you're, teasing someone or something. How exactly do we figure out like where the boundary is?
Oh, intent. There's negative and positive stuff. In the Nutty Professor, the remake with Eddie Murphy, Dave Chappelle just spends 5 minutes making fun of what's his name, the large Eddie Murphy, and then later on when he's Bloody Love, he basically does the same thing, and it's basically it comes down to intent, where you can make light of a situation, or you can tease and be extremely cruel using humor. So there is a difference between positive humor and negative humor.
No, I don't know
Wow.
Dave Chappelle at all.
Yeah.
I'm more of an
Well,
Anthony Jeselnik sort of school of humor. So yeah.
Another thoughtful moment from the most serious man in comedy, Monty Dean.
Yep, I'm a niche of a niche of a niche. You call that a niche? This is a niche.
I do woodworking with metal.
Well, technically that's true, because if you have metal tools, it's easy to work with the grain.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Yeah. I've never
And you
seen a
can- yeah.
wooden chisel.
All right, so
I have their shit house. Bang! Oh, for fuck's sake. They're very crap on stone.
so Raz, thanks for calling in, Raz. We're going to move on to our next caller.
Thank you.
Adios.
All right, Robert, let's spin up the wheel of caller and see who is next.
Okay, this is a tough one. I think Sean, you're lucky.
Sean, Canadian
Sean?
Bibby, are you there?
It's me, Sean.
Shawnee B.
The Bibby
Sean.
kind.
The Bibby, the Mr. MC Bibby.
Baby man.
Hello.
Named after that robot from the original Battlestar Galactica. Biddy biddy. No, that's
Yeah.
Buck Rogers and
Buck
the 21st
Rogers,
century.
yeah.
Or 25th century, yeah.
Which is about to get a remake.
You're kidding me.
No, I was scanning the internet. What's coming up for the Buck Rogers is going to get a remake.
Ooh, let's just go to the woke calendar and see how woke it will be.
Funny thing about Buck Rogers is I had a dream about it, and then I watched it, and I didn't know any single person who watched Buck Rogers before.
Which Buck Rogers were you watching?
The one with it's got that sweet acoustic guitar song.
The movie.
Yeah.
It's an old one.
Yeah, that was the
from
actual
eight-
Buck. Yeah, that was the Buck Rogers movie. Yeah, that was like a cinematic genius.
Yeah, it was dope. It was really fun.
See, the '80s knew how to make movies without any special effects.
Yeah, but they still had the women and the nice suit effects.
Oh God, yeah, they mastered that part exactly. No doubt, they mastered that exactly.
Great costume designers.
Yeah, it's like the original Charlie's Angels, where it was actually an empowerment to see women intelligent and crime fighting. And then there was that remake with
Drew Barrymore.
Yeah, that one that was quite good, and they knew what they were doing. And then they made a remake and said men can't watch this, and no one saw it, and then complained that men didn't watch it. You know that was remade in the last couple of
watched
years.
it.
I didn't even know that, Monty.
I didn't
That's how
even
far
know it was
off it
remade.
my radar.
That's how popular it was. It's like, really?
Unbelievable.
That's the one.
Yeah, it's like, did you see Terminator Dark Fate?
No, I
don't know the
couldn't
name.
I couldn't lower myself to watch it.
Yeah, well, when the director says this is going to piss off all the men and no one saw it, it's like, oh, well, I won't watch it then. And
Well,
then
they
it
always lost
bombed.
half their audience.
Yeah.
Bad call.
I'll tell you why the movie sucks, but go ahead, Bruce.
I did. Like, in that vein, in movies I shouldn't like because I have genitalia relating to a man, I really did like Fury Road.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that kind of broke the mold, I have to say.
Nice.
Yeah, but the problem with Terminator Dark Fate is in the first 7 minutes of the film, John Connor gets shot and killed.
Yes. At that point, I turned it off.
Exactly. It's like, why am I watching this? The machines win.
This is gonna be shoddy.
Yeah, because the Terminator that shoots John stays, gets a family, and goes into interior decorating.
Yeah, man.
I did see that. I enjoyed that quite a bit. Yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
Yeah, because a time traveling killer robot. Oh yeah. He goes into interior design. That's a good film.
But the funniest line in the movie is when Schwarzenegger is the Terminator. The domesticated Terminator lists his balance sheet as a husband, and that can be very funny. Do you remember? He gives a little litany there of 2 or 3 things, and 2 or 3 you're going, yeah, that's pretty reasonable, and then he just stops and looks at the camera, and that can be very funny. Family likes humor.
Yes. But the rest, it's just like, really, and then it's just it's the classic gender swap, and now a girls and just I'm getting tired of the gender war, which apparently gender is a social construct. It's like, well, I don't see many pandas getting transitioned.
You just haven't lived in China long enough. You just haven't lived in China long enough.
Yeah, give it a pink haircut.
Yeah.
You're telling me that there's pandas with purple hair?
Billy Joel leather jacket.
I want to be called Karen from now on, not a Ping Ping. My name is Karen, not a Ping Ping.
Heterosexual panda sex in China is so rare, Monty. You can make $1 million if you get it on film.
Yeah, all right. Well, I could pick another animal and still make my point, but yeah, let's go to panda porn. Yeah.
You know, the gayest animals of the entire animal, what the entire animal community is?
Is it a seal?
No, dolphins.
Oh,
they don't give a fuck. I don't care what hole it is. Blowhole.
Yeah, a lot of hate fucking in there in the dolphin. Aren't they supposed to be high? Well, yeah, they're a higher intelligence allegedly. So they're not from this planet, are they? They've popped. They popped in.
I can't believe they're still together after all that shit that they've been through. Nobody shit. Okay.
Well, according to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, when the dolphins leave, we should leave the planet because it's about to be blown up by a Vogon for an interstellar highway.
Probably.
Yeah, but that interstellar highway's got to exist. You know, the commodities have to flow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the book is called "So Long and Thanks for All the Fish."
And crab.
And all the other seafood that we don't eat, but eat all the time. So, Sean, do you have anything funny to tell us?
Funny. I've been thinking what the Galactic History trilogy would be like, and just running it through my mind. It
would definitely be a sci-fi action series.
Yeah, where would you start?
Well, I know there'd definitely be a side film called The Loosh Wars, which so the characters in The Loosh Wars, would they be good guys or like bad guys that you kind of like?
Yeah, they'd be bad guys you kind of like. So be like Sons of Anarchy. Like he killed 155 people at the end of this by the end of the series. Something crazy like that, like 113 people.
Yeah.
But you just love the character. Exactly. Other than
And
the
of
fact
cour-
that it's like there was a couple scenes where he killed like 11 people with a shotgun
Yeah,
and
I
a
just like
knife.
I just like the way he has his armband on his scales.
Yeah.
It resonates,
See,
with me, you know?
my problem would be I would make the timeline wars, and it would get cancelled after one season because no one knows what the fuck's going on.
Haha.
I like
Who are
the
these
way he
people?
scales to the boss.
Yeah, I like when people say, "Oh, history's fucked up." And it's like, yeah, no, and I'm not even going to bring up the timelines. Like, well, my head hurts.
Yeah, it's a little layered.
A little,
Just a little.
I-
Exactly.
Multi-layered, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, I don't talk to Andrew about timelines wars at all because I need 8 fucking whiteboards to try and follow it. And then Andrew says, you can't follow it linear. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, that's why we
Real
need the
fun.
Galactic History $500 billion trilogy.
But yeah, and somehow they'll make it woke.
So if I was going to do a Galactic History as a movie, a trilogy, I would start in the Atlantean,
Ooh,
at the times where the Atlantean, here's my narrator's moment. The Atlantean Empire has fallen to the wayside. They are challenged on many fronts, and the heroes of Atlantis must now reach out to use a different moral code if they must survive. And introduce 3 badass characters.
Yeah, the badass
Okay.
for sure.
Okay, the badassers who you know are about to become the Dirty Dozen. Okay, they're the ones that are gonna do timeline genocide. They're gonna do all the evil, nasty stuff.
So
And
we
you're
just
gonna
got
be
a pan screen between like the Black Panther place and the Poseidon
yes,
place.
yeah, exactly.
Like the tank machines are walking.
Yes, and then
And-
them
and we've-
being loaded up to go off and do a mission. Where you then cut to the other scene on this apparently peaceful looking world, highly militarized. Okay,
Yeah.
there is the evil conglomerate of we hate Atlantis. Okay.
So when,
And you
when
find
got
out-
the founder beings and they're like, we're going back. We're going
No.
back.
That you founder beings wouldn't even show up to like the third part of the trilogy. We're talking the beginning here.
Okay,
Okay.
not even a scene
Yeah,
about
the
it?
beginning here. Yeah.
Okay,
So
we'll hook him
it's
with
like
the big fish, Return of the
Yeah.
Jedi.
no. Let me finish here. So you switch to the organization of evil guys who have a peaceful looking world, and all of a sudden, the negative Atlanteans come in and start, fucking the world up, but people survive that attack, and they fall back to an icy type world, and they garner support of more haters. Okay, so they go on Galactic Twitter, and they drum up a cancel culture. Okay.
Yeah, but it's got to move fast.
Yes, it's good
You
fast.
You can't have a
So-
slow moving 54 million.
So a bunch of the bad guys recruit even badder bad guys. Okay.
So you have these little frames like 3 million years later. Yeah.
Exactly. Our plan
3 million years
unfolds.
before.
Exactly. So you have three bad guys, 3 bad guys versus 3 badder bad guys.
Yeah, I hate those bad guys.
Yes. So
They're dicks.
exactly. So it's gonna be like like one of those classic action movies. That's is the French bad guy gonna survive to the end? No, the French guy's got to die first.
And you find out that the land of Mu is actually pronounced Moo.
Moo. Exactly.
Yeah.
Moo.
Yeah, that U is 17 O's.
Now we still need a love interest. Okay. Okay. So
Okay,
which
okay.
bad guy versus baddest guy is going to have a love crossover interest? Who's going to make them leave their badder organizations
So
and
are you
see a
gonna make
different
it
light?
Cliche or just badasses getting together?
No, it's 2 badasses getting together so they don't have to fight over the woman for that moment, and they'll just choose to fight over the woman after the battle's ended.
Save the world first.
Yes,
Or
yes.
fuck up China.
I can just see an after credits scene of the Arcturians going, "Fuck this, Palladians, it's yours. We're out."
Exactly. Fuck this. We're out. Okay.
Spaceships fly.
Then you'll have this giant battle scene, galactic battle scene where tens of thousands of ships are involved. Okay. And Atlantis comes out on top. The bad guys lose, but the woman has taken one of the good bad guys down the dark side. To see the other point of view of how Atlantis is struggling, is smothering the growth of other worlds by not freely sharing in their technology.
Right. So episode 1 is purely Atlantean Lemuria saga.
Well, it's revealing galactic wokedom being forced onto Atlantis.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
we want to be recognized.
I have rights. I have rights.
I have timeline rights. Exactly.
So obviously that woman's going to be a pretty serious main character role.
Yes, because she's going to start the revolution that's going to go against Atlantis.
So is she dark? Is she false light or false darkness?
Well, she's the first false god. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
And it kind of shows the two guys that were fighting over how to use false god technology, and they start a mafia.
Oh, do you like a religion too?
So now we're
Ideology,
getting Sopranos-esque for episode 2.
What's her statue look like in the street?
Well, we'll get to a statue later. So the bad guy and the bad guy and the woman now have a threesome. Okay. And they're producing lots of offspring, but they start manipulating the other two sides to fight each other in different realms and spaces. So it's very much like galactic opera-y. And this is where the 15 multidimensional beings would have taken over the other 3 characters that are continued into story 2. Now, story 2 has to introduce a whole bunch of new characters for you to like.
Yeah. And then the multi-dimensional guy's got to be like the fucking Sith Lord in Star Wars, or like the bad guy.
You got the 15 multidimensional beings are behind the lady.
Yeah, okay. But you don't really see them much. They kind of like
they're like, well, they're not like Sauron, flaming eye. No, they're definitely more on the down low.
Yeah, like the Emperor.
Yeah, they're Shriners. They got fezzes on and
Yeah, they come in, they say a few things, they arrange a few parts, and then they go to the background again.
Correct.
And then we see them more in the 3rd episode.
Well, no, we have to finish story 2 out. You have to introduce the new good guys. Now, the good guys, their battle is versus an environment. They're trying to stop an intergalactic disaster where all time is going to be ended, and they're going to have a complete breakdown of all the timelines. So you have the good guys racing against time, and they run into all these other time traveling beings from an ancient future who don't see who never saw this erasure event.
Yeah, and they got to prove to them to believe it.
Correct. And that ends series 2 ends on a giant cliffhanger. What is real?
That would be season. That would be episode.
Yeah. And you can have the narrator as the galactic historian of that time narrating it.
Yes. And then episode 3, all those original characters you saw from the first 2 movies are in human bodies in early 2003 United States.
Okay. Wow.
45 million years later.
45 million years later.
But do they know that they're themselves, or they don't?
No, each one has to go through the awakening. One guy's a fucking channeler, another guy's a 60-year-old grandmother that has an awakening from Q. Okay.
Now, do you think you could actually do this in the movie, or you'd have to make a side movie for this shit?
No, you can actually
a lot of 3-hour movie. They're 3-hour movies, but you could do it in the movies.
Yeah, and during the awakening process of those 3, you have a lot of flashbacks of that 30 million year gap.
Yeah,
where it's like, oh, he did that. Oh, that
touches his hand, gets a bunch of memories back. Oh, fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just love a scene. It'd be comedic where someone explains, "We are the founders of this planet,"
Which
and then
founders?
let me finish. And then a smartass comes in and is like, "Well, UN and lists the other 71." Like actually lists all the 71, not like, oh, but there's others. No, go through every name, 71 of them. It could take about 45 seconds. It'd be great. I don't think it won't be a children's show.
No, you can. Well, yeah, it depends how sexy the sex scenes get. and the threesome.
Well, that can be done classily, unlike,
Kids-
say, the new Lord of
kids
the
watch
Rings.
everything.
Yeah, the new Lord of the Rings TV show apparently hired someone for the nudity scenes, and I'm like, I've read Tolkien. I don't remember any nudity scenes in this fucking book.
Yeah, this is going to be kids to deathbed people.
Well,
Yeah.
you aim for the 12 to 15-year-olds, and you tap into the inner child. That's why. I mean, I watched 2 animated Batman and Superman movies last night, and I'm like, "You're 47. Fuck off. I'm 8. I'm enjoying this. Go away."
Exactly. Fuck off. I'm watching this, enjoying it.
Yeah.
So
and people will love it.
So episode 3, as I said, 45 million years later, they all wake up in mid 2006. And it's the generational journey into the awakening. In 2012, nothing happens. Conspiracy world, and you know, have got Mozart, or Megasar, Lord of the Dark, you know, working at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Okay?
we got to avoid a lost ending.
No. It's really simple because it ends off Joe Biden's president.
Oh my God. It sounds terrible.
A bunch of flash forwards showing the different presidents that come
How
out, and it
How did
ends
we become
Joe
this?
Biden's free will. Free will.
It sounds like the dropping on the knees in the Planet of the Apes. Like, why?
Why?
To quote myself from earlier, it's free will, you dick.
Yes, to reduce karma. That's why, because you guys fucked up really bad.
I actually saw a meme.
Lame life.
I saw a great meme. It's like in Planets of the Apes, there's a plot hole. They never explained why the Statue of Liberty was put on the Planet of the Apes. I'm like, brilliant. Oh, I'm sorry. Did that joke make you think? Okay, there's a movie called Planet of the Apes. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, sure. I know all about like the statue.
And there's a city called New York, which was called New Amsterdam, but we'll get over that. Because
Sure.
New Amsterdam is very hard to say instead of New York City, New York.
The newest Amsterdam.
Yeah, the latest Amsterdam. Oh my God. But someone just made a joke about the plot hole of like, why is the Statue of Liberty on another planet? They never explain that. And the point of seeing that is it's actually Earth. It's called humor. Welcome to the comedy show.
Yeah, it was dramatic at the time.
Hey, you crazy bastards.
All right, Sean, we're going to let you go. We got 2 more callers to get to.
Right on. Thanks, guys.
All right,
Well,
Robert.
see you, man.
Spin up the coin of callers and see which side is flips a caller.
Penny in the air.
I think we'll go for Sean number 2.
Ooh.
Sean number 2. Are you
Sean
there?
2, the Seanany.
You had me at number 2.
You are there, Sean. Are you enjoying today's show?
I am, and I showed up prepared.
Ooh, how were you prepared?
I brought some chapter 1 of Andrew Bartzis' Galactic History inspired humor.
Ooh.
Well, please go on.
I was rereading it, and I was made laugh out loud again by the sentence, "Time is a temporary condition."
Yep.
Because that's what you want to. That's what you want to hear when you go to a spiritual doctor. Well, you've got this condition called time.
It's all at the same time. It is helpful and true, but it's also funny. It's like saying, well, time only exists in time.
And just in time, you'll have your experience in time.
Yeah, I've had a friend say, you're basically doing a seminar and like, everything is an illusion except for time. And then I chipped up, yeah, but once you figure that out, you find out time's an illusion as well. But that's in the advanced course.
Right.
Do you have any more?
I do. And the one was like, you mentioned the horrid unfolding of Genesis. And I'm wondering if the listening and viewing audience is aware that R. Crumb, the comic book artist responsible for the Fabulous Furry Freak Brothers, also did a graphic adaptation of Genesis.
I did not know that.
Let's see.
how accurate is it? Because
Can-
as Jordan
can I-
Maxwell
Can I
points
put
out,
on my video for a second?
Robert, can you give him permission for video?
yes, talk. So you're actually on.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
so this is what do you call
Nothing
it?
left out. That's a bold statement.
R. Crumb's graphic illustrated Genesis.
And that's what you really want on the
Wow.
cover as well. God saying, "Get the fuck out of my house."
So it includes the famous characters.
Eve, Noah, Adam,
Yeah.
the serpent. That looks kind of Abraham. Oh, that's the bastard that started everything. Isaac, Jacob, Pharaoh, Joseph. Oh, Rachel.
Yeah.
Sarah.
So I feel like this is the best part right here. Nothing left out, and somewhere it doesn't say not for kids, right?
Adult supervision recommended for minors.
That's it. That was my only visual joke.
That looks an impressive book. I'm not going to read the Bible, but I'll read that.
Right. What else did I find? Oh yeah, there was something about you reminded me when you were talking about the Gutenberg press. Then I thought about the Gutenberg Bible, and I was like, oh yeah, like we were promised for years that Obama was gonna like introduce an ET to humanity, and we were gonna launch into the new age. And while obviously we didn't get that,
I don't know, Michael, Michelle.
if people were paying attention, we kind of did get that.
Yeah, we got a Trump.
5 or 10 years earlier, Dave Chappelle did a skit where he played a black president and he introduced Bibble.
Yes. Yes.
He talked about free energy.
And only Dave Chappelle could do that. Only Dave Chappelle.
Which, of course, he nailed it, as always. And I got a big chuckle again out of just your line, flat Earth. Humans will believe anything.
That's true. They will believe anything.
It's a way of it's a way of commenting without commenting.
It's called free will, you dick.
That must be the number one characteristic of our galactic reputation right now. They'll believe anything.
Mm-hmm.
So that was what made me laugh today. Other than the just random joke came while I was reading. What's brown and sounds like a bell?
A cow.
Dong.
Yeah.
Stole that from Monty Python.
Wah, 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 wah.
The trumpet's back. Good.
Wah, 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 wah.
It's up there with you. What's brown and sticky? A stick. Oh, thanks.
Oh
for
my
that.
God, I love that one. I use that in uncomfortable situations and they stay uncomfortable.
I thought they would get more uncomfortable. It's like, why is he bringing up fucking twigs, man?
What did the cannibal get when he was late for dinner?
What?
The cold shoulder. No, the cold shoulder.
And the classic one is, a cannibal's eating a clown and says to his mate, "Does this taste funny to you?"
Funny to you? Right. Then the other version is, what did the cannibal get when he was late for dinner? He got chewed out.
I like the Stephen Wright joke. It was like I was playing poker with tarot cards, and I got a full house, and 3 people died.
Ha ha.
That sounds more like disclosure than a joke.
Well, he did write it in the mid '80s, so
I remember it.
All right, Sean, we're going to let you go. We got one more caller to get to.
Thanks for having me.
See you, Sean.
Thanks. See you soon.
Where did our other caller go?
Santo. Yeah, maybe he left the house.
Let's see if
Santa.
he's up for it.
Exactly. Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
Oh, you sound like you're at a wind tunnel. No, or you're muffled.
Hang on. No, Sean was doing such a good job. I thought, I can't top that.
Yes, you
So
can.
I really got.
We believe in you.
Sorry.
We believe in you. You have a funny bone.
I don't know. Look, it's strange because you guys talk about all these bloody theories, and I haven't seen one of them. And it sounds interesting, but the most interesting one was the one you were coming up with, Andrew. I would watch that one. But the others, what you need to do is a list. So us newbies can kind of pick and choose something, because you keep coming up with all these theories and go, that's great. I don't know. Top 10. Top 10, yeah, exactly. Make a top 10.
A top 10 list. All right. We'll work on that.
Yeah. The top 10 list, and it's kind of weird because, I don't know, I found today's show strange, and I don't know how to define strange, but it's kind of like, what is funny? And it's kind of like a cross between funny and tragic these days.
That's called, because we're tragically hip, don't you know?
Come on, man.
I don't know whether I don't get it or whether I'm just getting old and cynical. Probably.
You're getting old and cynical. You're just getting old and cynical.
It's you. It's not us. Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, okay, I get it. It was funny, but I really enjoyed that little script. You were starting to really warm up, Andrew. I was really getting into that, and I loved the ending. Joe Biden. There he is.
Exactly.
Oh,
Well, the reason that you love it, the reason that you love it is you were there.
I was there.
It's like, this sounds very familiar.
Exactly. It sounds weirdly familiar, doesn't it, Monty? Yes. It's weird times. So I don't know how you create a comedic script in such twisted times without constantly being called out or triggering people. It's very difficult these days to just be yourself sometimes and just say what comes out of your mouth. I find it hilarious. Maybe it's the monkey in me, being born in the year of the monkey. But a lot of people don't, including a lot of members of my own family. So I'm kind of like, don't you see the funny side? They go, no.
Well, they're engaging in the insanity instead of just observing the insanity and going, "Oh, this is fucked." And you're Australian. You should be able to laugh at the adversity of it all. You live in a country that 60% of the wildlife wants to kill you. The other 40% wants to kill you, but they can't.
Yeah, but it seems to be getting a little bit too complicated, for want of a better word. And hence the continual reference back to the Dave Chappelle, who somehow had the comedic genius to know how to unravel the complexity and turn it around. So we need another George Carlin or Dave Chappelle to kind of introduce the untwisting of the knot that makes the person laugh rather than
it sounds like you're thinking about it too much, because you'll let that go and you'll find the whole thing just hilarious. Because if you're looking at the inner workings of it, it's like, well, this is stupid, which is funny.
Exactly. I can't laugh, Monty. I can't. I'm trying.
Well, you need the laughter surgery.
And that is.
It's like labiaplasty. You got to get your laughter muscle repaired.
Yeah, watch some Marx Brothers movies, and if you don't laugh at that, clearly you're a robot.
Maybe I'm not a robot. No, but seriously, make the top 10, Monty, and put it up either on your channel or something, or when you do you still do your what do you call it? The other show?
Yeah, I still have Planet Collingwood every week. Yep.
Planet Collingwood, there you go. I'll tune in. Here's a promise. I'll tune in to the next Planet Collingwood if you do the top 10 and put it in with notes.
Ooh. Challenge accepted. That means my audience goes up to 15.
Yes, I promise. Yes, I promise.
Well, 16 now. We got it.
No, up to it was 14. Now it's 15. Oh, unless you're going to listen.
I'm going to listen if you're going to do a top 10.
6.
Yeah.
16.
Actually, I turned my mic off because there was this peacock just swooping because I'm out in the balcony and squawking so loud that it didn't matter how much I turned up the volume, I couldn't hear a thing. So I thought there's no point, sort of turning the mic on. And then as soon as you call my name, this peacock disappeared. So there's something in the air more than the peacock.
So you have an angry peacock.
Very, very. I don't know why. I don't know what it was trying to say. Obviously, something very deep and cosmic, but I missed it.
It's trying to tell you, be funny, be funny, be funny.
It also could be its name, because I don't know anyone who wants to be called Cock.
Well, actually, Monty, it's probably one of those weird creatures. It was circling a snake or some other weird animal it was going to swoop on, and I couldn't see.
Well, it's so vain that it's missing humanity because you're in lockdown. I mean, there's many reasons, possibilities.
Exactly.
Yeah, actually, I saw a bit of a Dave Rubin, who's in Los Angeles, did like a 5-minute video, and it was explaining like the numbers here in Sydney, Australia. 80,000 tests, 111 positives, and 1 death. And so they've actually locked down the entire city. Yep. We're waiting for that 4th Reich of Australia.
Well, 7th Reich.
Oh, well, thank you, Mr. Historian, getting the number right.
No, because the lockdowns have failed multiple times. That's why it's either the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th.
Really?
7th.
That's why I'm in lockdown 5 at the moment.
Yeah. All right, Santo. Thanks a lot for calling in.
Good.
All right,
Have a great day.
yeah. All right, guys, we're at the end of the show. Monty, you want to give away for people to get a hold of you?
I can be found on the interwebs at Wafer Thin Entertainment, on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and more. And to that Russian hacker trying to steal my social media, not anymore, comrade. And I could be heard. It's a new word. I could be heard on Revolution Radio at 2 a.m. in the morning on Wednesdays, New York time, which is Planet Collingwood Live, and then the archive goes up on Wafer Thin Entertainment on YouTube. And once I figure out my Patreon, I'll have my Patreon. So if you go there now, you'll get nothing. But it's there.
Okay. And Bruce, you want to give away for people to get a hold of you?
Amazon, MacDonald, Bruce McDonald. Read a book. Read Stardust Ranch. You'll enjoy it immensely.
Oh, here, Stardust Ranch. I keep forgetting to promote that. There is an audiobook. Yeah.
Yes.
If you want to listen to me for 7.5 hours, baby, you can. Stardust Ranch.
You can get Stardust Ranch as a book and audio book.
Yeah, don't read it along because it's an interpretation.
All right, everybody, you know who I am. You go to my website, andrewbartzis.com, to get all of your existing updates. Also, follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Give us a like, a comment, and a subscribe. All right, Robert, take us away.